Boy, what an exciting game, Bob.
That's right, Jim. What could be better than this?
Hey, baby.
Dude, what are you doing?
Fumble! Ho-ho!
Doritos. They might just make you gay.
Hard to recover from that one, Bob.
Well, it looks like things are about to get much, much worse for Doritos. You know, the nacho chip. I mean, I'm more of a Cool Ranch guy, but there are many other alternatives of Cool Ranch related type chips available. And quite honestly, I shouldn't really be eating them anyway. Things have gotten much worse since yesterday after people have done some digging around a brand new Doritos spokesperson who had some insane comments about destroying the nuclear family. That's their life goal, eradicate the nuclear family. Some really heinous tweets about spending time with young ones and all this kind of stuff. People are on the lookout. Their stock is reacting, and it's going to be interesting to see how big this gets, because Doritos is another perfect like Bud Light example, right? The Bud Light boycott thing worked great because it was like so easy to replace. And you could say the exact same thing for Doritos. I mean, first of all, there are plenty of tortilla chips or nacho chips or whatever you want to call them options. Also, just like Bud Light, is not something anyone on the planet needs. So now the mainstream media has picked up the news cycle and things are heating up. By the way, another perfect time to remind you to check out the Veebs app. It's what I use. It's very, very easy. It's an app that lets you just scan stuff at the grocery store or in your own cupboard, figure out if they're woke or not. It works incredibly well. It allows you to like create your own shopping lists off companies. I use it. Just pick one or two things that you normally buy. Make sure they're okay. Most of the time it's okay, to be honest with you. But this is how we win. Incremental changes, right? People got rid of Bud Light. They lost billions. People are going to get off Doritos. They're going to lose billions. And you can use this app. And by the way, when you install it, it's on iPhone and Android. When they ask you for your code, say 4444 and you get a free trial of it. Otherwise, I think it's only $1 a month anyway, but it's still, why not get a free trial out of it? So yeah, this is a cool app to try. Veebsapp.com, or it's in Google Play and Android stores. Now, I have Google Play and iTunes. Doritos' terrifying new ambassador makes Dylan Mulvaney look like Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, I'd say that's probably true. I'd say that's a pretty good description of it. Doritos' horrifically terrifying new trans ambassador, who has a history of endorsing the PED stuff, allegedly, makes Bud Light's questionable Dylan Mulvaney decision look great in comparison. Samantha Hudson, the pseudonym for a man born as Ivan Gonzalez Renedo, is a Spanish electronic music star, apparently the newest brand ambassador for Doritos. Hudson appeared in the Doritos-sponsored brand programming called Crunch Talks. Pravda reported Hudson advocated for the abolition and to destroy and annihilate the traditional monogamous nuclear family. You know who buys Doritos? Not woke weirdos. Not woke weirdos. Families buy Doritos. So when you're thinking about, like, get the Veebs app, right? Because this stuff's going to be in there now. Anyway, according to a video clip posted, Hudson has a history of horrific and shocking statements that are way too close to the PED stuff, allegedly tweeting things like whatever. This apparently translates to English to, I want to do things yeah, I'm not even going to say that. Something about 12-year-olds, this, that, and the other thing, right? Now, while the 24-year-old Hudson allegedly tweeted this out in 2015, according to Pravda's screenshot, it's still less disturbing. Another tweet from 2014, which we talked about, it says, I'm a nymphomaniac in front of a super beautiful 8-year-old. Just let that sink in. How hard is it going to be to not buy Doritos tomorrow? Be pretty easy. It's going to be pretty easy to go to Twitter and type hashtag boycott Doritos, which lots of people are doing. It was trending this morning when I woke up. Hudson also laughs at victims of things that happened to them, saying he would spit in their face. What an odd and extremely off-putting decision by Doritos and owner PepsiCo to align with this creature. But you know what? If that's a kick in the rear, the public needs to reject a steady diet of GMO cornstarch and wildly unhealthy seed oils, then I'm all for it. If Pepsi wants to burst El Chapo out of jail and hire him as a spokesperson, I fully support an effort to get the world's children unhooked on high fructose corn syrup. In all seriousness, though, these statements are terrifying. Hudson makes Dylan Mulvaney look like a trad wife. Could this possibly be a psyop to make Mulvaney seem more better? And it's on every major news outlet. Daily Mail, Doritos slammed for hiring Samantha Hudson. I'm not going to go over their tweets again. Obviously, again, what will families choose to do here? Is there another bag of chips right next to it that you can scan with the Vivs app and buy instead? I suspect there is. Social media users are quick to point out similarities to the Bud Light campaign and its impact. Doritos about to get the Bud Light treatment. One user wrote on X, formerly Twitter. Another wrote, just make flavored tortilla chips. You don't need to have a stance on anything other than that. It's not tricky. I'd agree. Also, shout out to that song. Was it Run DMC? I think Run DMC. Why are brands like Doritos so self-destructive? Have they learned nothing from the Budweiser snafu? Let me guess, their advertising division is headed by a DEI hire. Of course, now people are reaching out for comment, understandably so. I don't really, of course, Mulvaney, an out-of-work stage performer, achieved internet stardom in 2022 by launching her hit TikTok series, Days of Girlhood, in which Dylan documents her transition from a man to a woman. I don't really know that that's ever even happened. Has there been any progress in that? I don't think so. I don't think I've seen any progress in regards to that. Of course, we know about conservatives. And then you go to Newsweek. Doritos faces backlash over ambassador's tweet about 12-year-old. Is that supposed to be odd? Are we supposed to be the prudes here or something like that? Am I supposed to? I don't understand here. Are we the? It's like the Principal Skinner. Is it me who is out of touch, or is it the children or whatever? Like what? You can go to Outkick. Doritos slam for hiring, of course, who made this remark around kids. What's interesting is if you look at the stock, it's actually fine so far. In fact, if you look over the past 1 month or 6 months, it's been on a nice little run basically since November. Maybe they're getting a big injection of DEI investors. Obviously, I can't prove that, but wouldn't that be like an interesting correlation? If people if you could figure out, who started investing back around December? Now, maybe they just had, good stock or stuff like that. Now, Yum is KFC and so many other things. Just like with Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light is only one part of it. Now, of course, Doritos facing significant backlash is yet another report. Hudson, a male claiming to be female, was hired as a brand ambassador for Doritos. Doritos Spain is run by PepsiCo. Hudson claims to be anti-capitalist, Marxist. What's interesting about that? If you're an anti-capitalist and a Marxist, why are you working for PepsiCo? It's almost like they're just liars and grifters. It's almost like that. How come every major popular anti-capitalist or socialist is super rich, like Hassan Piker or this individual or any other champagne socialist, any one of these musicians who become millionaires selling their music via capitalism, okay? Any one of them, how come they don't stick it to the machine, and how come they don't redistribute their own wealth? They seem to have a problem doing that. Of course, also released a song ripping the Catholic Church, advocates for the destruction of the nuclear family, and sent absolutely insane tweets according to the same report. Now, again, I think that generally people, like, people might tweet something that later gets used against them or whatever the case may be. Heck, we'll always have the "and there we have it, yikes" tweet that I have. Okay. But I don't think this is that. I think this person's actually a monster. You see people, I used to get cheesy Doritos as a weekly treat, but I can't enjoy them knowing they're giving money to a ped creep as the face of the brand. Why him? Imagine hire someone even worse than Dylan Mulvaney to tank your brand. Doritos facing backlash. I mean, I'm not exactly sure. If you look at, by the way, on Twitter, anything, Doritos, you see Doritos faces backlash for this. Okay, not just Doritos. We need to hit Frito-Lay and PepsiCo brands. They can all be found here. Yeah, Newsweek, you forgot to include the actual tweets. So that's another thing that's happening. Essentially, these people are covering for this individual by not actually showing the tweets where they said the heinous stuff, right? They're just trying to make the story, oh, it's just a regular, everyday, run-of-the-mill trans person, and everybody's mad about it. That's not the case. That's not even close to the case. I'm just here for the ratio. You see, only someone stupid would fall for that. Bud Light, men in dresses are good for sales. Doritos, chomp. Get woke, no, go broke. No more Doritos for me. Go woke, go broke. Good. Do you folks at Newsweek think it's okay for a grown man wanting to do something like that to a kid? This is not about inclusion. There's plenty of trans people who don't want to do this kind of stuff. Doritos could have chose one of them. I think that's probably true. That seems pretty easy to do. Just don't hire somebody that wants to do this kind of stuff to young ones. Lamau backlash. We're going to make what happened to Bud Light seem mild compared to this. Doritos just ending themselves. Frito-Lay and Pepsi. We're cutting that poison out of our lives. I just think this is great. This is absolutely great. This is what consumers need to do. They need to push back. They need to fight back. They need to take their brands back. And again, it's not. Don't let anybody try to gaslight you and say that oh, it's not that big a deal. You're overreacting. Okay, that's cool, but neither are Doritos. Neither is Bud Light. We don't need Doritos in our life. We don't need Bud Lights in our lives. There's plenty of other options if you want corn chips. And not that I'm one to talk, but we could always just cut chips out in general and have a carrot. Not that I'm a great example of that again, but I digress. Get woke, go broke. Check out the Veebs app, linked in the description, or just search it up in Google Play and or iTunes. Promo code 4444 when you download it to get a free trial. We'll talk to you again real soon.